You ever feel like you're just shouting into the void? You're putting all this work into your content, but it's just not connecting. Well, what if there's this huge, really thoughtful audience out there that you're probably not even talking to? Today, we're going to show you exactly how to find them, and more importantly, how to create stuff they will absolutely love. Does that sound familiar? Maybe that's you or someone you know. See, that's the heart of what we're getting into. We're talking about and to the quiet people online, the silent observers. They're the ones who watch, who think, who feel really deeply, but they almost never jump into the noisy fray. Honestly, this whole explainer is for them. So who are these silent observers, really? It's so easy to just write them off as, passive lurkers in the background, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. They're actually some of the most tuned in, discerning viewers you could ever hope to have. Let's dig in a little bit and see what makes them tick. And this right here, this pretty much sums it all up. They are just so turned off by the constant yelling and negativity that you see everywhere online. They're not looking for outrage. They're not clicking on the clickbait. They want something real. They're searching for a genuine connection, for content that actually helps them grow. Okay, so that's the big question, right? In a world that rewards the loudest voice in the room, how do you make your whisper heard? That's the puzzle we're going to solve. And the answer, well, it's way more of a science than you might think. The key is this technique called reverse engineering. Now, hold on. This is not about copying. Not at all. Think of it more like a chef who tastes an amazing dish and then goes back to the kitchen to figure out the exact recipe. We're going to look at content that's already working and break it down to its core ingredients. That's how we'll understand why it's so compelling to our silent observer. And this is the most important part. We are hunting for the patterns. What's the emotional journey that a successful video takes someone on? What's the hidden script structure that just pulls you in? What's the tone of voice that makes someone feel safe and understood? That right there is the gold we're mining for. All right, so once we have that blueprint, it's time to start building. I'm about to walk you through a really simple 4-step workflow that will help you turn all those insights into powerful, empathetic content that actually connects every single time. Here it is, our 4-step plan. First up, we use a tool, something like the Grab It extension, to just scoop up a bunch of links to videos that are already hitting the mark with this audience. Then, we feed all of that into Notebook LM, which is an AI that's going to find all the hidden patterns for us. From there, we use those patterns to write our script. And finally, we bring it to life with really simple visuals. Think whiteboard animations from Dina AI or Whisk. And then we just stitch it all together in an editor like CapCut. And that simple visual style, that's key. It's not intimidating, it puts the focus right on the message, which this audience absolutely values. So let's talk about Notebook LM because it's pretty much the heart of this whole process. Imagine you want to figure out what makes a certain kind of content so popular. I mean, you could spend days, maybe weeks, watching hours of video, taking endless notes, trying to connect the dots, or you could just let Grab It send all the links over to Notebook LM and let it do all that heavy lifting for you. It's seriously like having a whole team of brilliant researchers on call 24/7. Okay, and look at this. This is where the magic really happens. On the left, you've got the total chaos of raw data, right? It's just a jumble of links, transcripts, random notes, a total mess. But on the right, that's clarity. Notebook LM has sifted through all of that noise and boiled it down to its pure essence. It's telling us the key themes are empathy and empowerment, the tone needs to be gentle and conversational, and the winning structure is something called hook, story, insight. It's a total game changer. So with this amazing blueprint in hand, we are ready to start writing. And the best part is, this isn't guesswork anymore. We're laying a foundation for our script based on what we know works, turning that analysis into a story that's going to connect on a much deeper emotional level. So that structure Notebook LM found for us, it's called Hook, Story, Insight. It is so simple, but it is so effective. The hook grabs the viewer with something empathetic. Sound familiar? It was our opening quote. The story, that's the main course where you deliver the real value, just like this 4-step workflow we're going through. And the insight, well, that's the memorable takeaway that's going to stick with your viewer long after the screen goes dark. And get this, you have about 10 seconds. 10. That's all the time you have to convince someone to stick around. For the silent observer, that first impression is everything. A hook that's built on empathy isn't just an opener. It's like a secret handshake. It's a quiet little signal that says, hey, you're in the right place. This one's for you. So we have covered a ton of ground, from reverse engineering to script writing, but I want you to know, this playbook, it's about so much more than just a new set of tools or some formula. It's really about a whole new way of thinking about your audience and about your role as a creator.
This right here, this is the whole point. The reason we reverse engineer isn't so we can make a cheap copy of someone else's success. No way. It's to build a deeper sense of empathy for our audience. It's about truly, finally understanding what they need, what they care about, and how we can serve them better.
When you really think about it, these tools aren't just for creating content. They're for listening. The silent majority, they're talking to us all the time. They're telling us what they want through the things they choose to watch and value. This process, it just helps us finally hear what they're saying. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Your audience, especially those quiet ones, they're out there right now, and they're waiting. They're not waiting for another loud voice to scream at them. They're waiting for someone to finally get it, to finally understand them. So what's the message they're hoping you'll whisper?